On the news tonight, Federal Capital Territory Administration gets pass mark for effective palliative distribution during COVID-19 pandemic. Issues of security and peace building in focus as National Orientation Agency holds one-day COVID-19 sensitization campaign in Abuja. Plus, residents of Aleta community file lawsuit against FCTA over planned demolition of the area. Hello, this is the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. We start with figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 16 September 2020, which indicates 37 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, making the total number of confirmed cases to now stand at 5,488, while active cases is now 522, and the number of discharged cases in the territory now stands at 4,892, and sadly, 74 deaths have so far been recorded in the nation's capital. Meanwhile, civil society organization has scored the Federal Capital Territory Administration high on the palliative distribution to vulnerable members of the society. This was during the presentation of a scorecard of the palliative distribution by a coalition of COVID-19 CSO Emergency Intervention Group in Abuja. Ifeanyi Ezumba has details.
The National Coordinator COVID-19 CSO's Emergency Intervention Group, Jofia Nankagupa, who said the palliative did not get to everybody, but every community in the territory received, added that the report will inspire the FCT Minister of State as well as the entire administration.
During this lockdown, one of the things that exposed them is that the markets are closed, parks are closed, which also used to be a shelter for these young people. Next time we'll see it on the news. FCT has taken the action. They're not just going to these homeless children, but they went around the city, to make sure that food is being given.
Receiving advice during the palliative distribution, revealing that with the validation of the social register, the administration has identified over 700,000 vulnerable households in the
a guide to what we need to do further. Was I on the right course? Did we do the right thing? Because it has beckoned on us that we mustn't wait for another pandemic before, if we can, reach out to the downtrodden.
While commending the civil society organization, traditional rulers, religious bodies, youths and other stakeholders in joining hands to make the exercise a success, the minister ordered to bear. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, Nta News.
And the concern about cases of coronavirus and insecurity across the country has led to a one-day orientation and sensitization campaign by the National Orientation Agency, along with some stakeholders, aimed at building people of peace working together to overcome COVID-19 as they focus on health and security in the country. Amira.
Relevant stakeholders, along with National Orientation Agency on a sensitization campaign, has raised awareness on issues relating to passing of information to citizens, especially those at the grassroots, in terms of health and security consciousness.
Everyone has a responsibility, he has a part to play, and that is why we have put together this program so that people will be equipped with the necessary information.
According to some resource persons, ways of tackling crimes and conflicts can be achieved through peaceful resolution and citizens staying away from fake news and hate speech.
Basically, the Freedom of Information Act came into being in response to the dire need to open up the space, the governance space, and ensure active citizens' participation in governance.
While government is doing their best, to address insecurity in our country, it is important for citizens to know that this is a collective responsibility.
The Director of Human Resource Management also stressed that peaceful coexistence can also be achieved through sports and therefore encouraged youths to take up the opportunity.
Irrespective of our differences, sport, if it's well developed, can bring peace among the youth and people of the country.
The aim of this campaign by the National Orientation Agency with all relevant stakeholders is aiming at people working together to coherent peace living in terms of overcoming the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuring government provides adequate security infrastructure in the country. In Abuja, Amira Muhammad, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the annual World Patient Safety Day is aimed at creating awareness, understanding and engagement globally on the need to work towards global solidarity and action by World Health Organization (WHO) member states. The day also recognizes patient safety as a key health priority. In this report, correspondent Wofai Ibo tells us more about the day.
As the world marks World Patient Safety Day, it should be noted that the day was adopted globally by the 72nd World Health Assembly on 25th May 2019 to recognize patient safety as a health priority. The theme for this year's World Patient Safety Day is Health Worker Safety with the slogan Safe Health Workers, Safe Patients. What is the significance of this day?
In an hospital setting, the care for patients should be very paramount to caregivers. As an organization like this, the core mandate of us being here is to make sure that our patients come around and live happily.
The COVID-19 pandemic is presently among the biggest challenges and threats to face the world and humanity, and healthcare is living its greatest crisis in patient safety ever. What chances does a patient have at accessing adequate health care, and what is the responsibility of medical practitioners to the patient?
Many cases are meant to be separate from coming through the GOPD. Maybe just straight to the emergency unit, but a normal patient that can still be able to talk and relate easily, we bring them in through the GOPD. When you come around as a patient in our hospital, you can access medical care within the space of 10 to 15 minutes.
This represents a call for urgent action by all key national and internal stakeholders, policymakers, healthcare leaders, professionals and patient safety globally. Wofai Ibo, NTA News.
Residents of Aleta community along Airport Road, Lugbe, have filed a lawsuit against the Federal Capital Territory Administration over a planned demolition exercise of the area. Hakimat Aliyu brings us details from the court proceedings which held in Abuja.
This is the first hearing of the case brought to the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory by indigenous people of Aleta community along Airport Road, Lugbe, whose houses were marked on the 31st of August 2020 for demolition by the FCT Department of Development Control. The lead prosecuting counsel, Ali Zubairu, presented the case before the presiding judge, Court 13, Danlamin Zamazenchi.
The substance of the case, even though I know the matter is sub judice, I just want to summarize. I'm not going into the merits. Is that on the 31st day of August, without prior notice to them, officials of FCDA went and marked several houses of indigenous persons, for demolition. Now, this Aleta community is the ancestral home of these Baggy people. They have not been compensated by the federal government. They have not been integrated like you have in Garki village, and neither have they been resettled like you have in Apo resettlement.
The prosecutor stated it pleaded for the court to intervene on the issue to avert displacement of the indigenes of Aleta from their ancestral home.
We've argued today what is called a motion experte. Now, that is to have an interim order before the motion on notice. But my lord was not inclined to granting that expertise. He felt, let's put them on notice, which is also a win.
The case for now has been adjourned to the 30th of September 2020 for next hearing, prior which a notice would be issued to the FCT administration to bring forth its arguments before the Honorable Court of Justice. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, through the Department of Outdoor Advertisement and Signage, DOAS, has commenced removal of illegal signage within the nation's capital city. Director of DOAS, Babagana Adam, made this known while briefing the media in Abuja. Shuaibu Onozi Yakubu tells us more.
While briefing the media, Director of the Department of Outdoor Advertisement and Signage, Babagana Adam, disclosed that over 2,000 signages and outdoor advertisements have so far been removed within the city center, as the agency continued to intensify efforts towards ensuring that all signages conform to the city master plan. He warned private companies and corporate organizations to desist from littering the streets with illegal advert materials under the guise of corporate social responsibility.
Whenever you want to protect the aesthetic beauty or the heritage of an environment, if you don't take care of it, you don't control it, you don't regulate it, and you don't standardize it, we are nowhere.
According to the director, DOAS has commenced redesigning of street names and major highway signages to ensure standard and environmental protection.
Some of the names that are baggy of our areas have been pointed out that people don't even understand some histories behind them. So we will do that. We will carry the speed limits. We will also indicate certain things that a road corridor and furniture is supposed to carry. All these are in the plan.
The agency has also resolved to prosecute promoters of illegal signages and outdoor advertisement in the territory. Shuaibu Onozi Yakubu, NTA News.
Data. Hey, data. Hey. Tare da tsarin Borrow Me Data daga Glo, yanzu zaka iya aron data a kowane lokaci kuma a ko'ina. Kawai kira *321# ko da babu komai a wayarka. Tabbas, tsofaffin kwastomomin Glo da suke kan layi yanzu za su more ƙarin kashi 20 na data tare da tsarin Glo Stay Home Data Plan.
Glo Unlimited.
And talking sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria have moved 2 places in the latest FIFA rankings released today. Details of these and other stories on Sports Brief with Aina J. Auta.
Super Eagles of Nigeria move up from 31st to 29th position in the latest FIFA ranking. The rankings were released on Thursday and published on FIFA's official website. The new rankings saw the Eagles now occupying 3rd in Africa, behind Senegal, 20th in the world, and Tunisia, 26th in the world. Meanwhile, Belgium, France, Brazil, and England all remain at number 1, 2, 3, and 4, respectively. With a pace rating of 94, CSK Moscow summer acquisition Chidera Ejuke is the 17th fastest player on the planet. The Super Eagles hopeful has an overall rating of 75. And its next valuable attribute is dribbling at 78. The left winger has 69 shooting, 61 passing, 59 physicality, and 37 defense. 2 players of Nigerian descent in shape of Wycombe Wanderers, Adebayo Akinfenwa and Orlando City Daryl Dike, featured among the top 20 strongest players in the world. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has confirmed that the 2020-2021 Champions League and Confederation campaigns will start in November, with 12 countries to provide 2 teams each. With Sports Brief, Ayena J. Outa, NTA News.
And before we go, a quick reminder. Please take responsibility as COVID-19 is real. Do stay safe. And that concludes the news in English. Up next is the translations. Have a good night rest.
ama agbaje we shaje we wona yuku shagbe dai yiwa na bai shaba dai wo me praise su fa yiba wona agwa na baje gai gwamnati ya tete je ba in ba nu ka ayu in ba ni kan aza ayu ya na in ba ni kan aza ayu ya tuna ya na che shi jila ba na zakwa luko ba dai inge ba godo ba tete shi ba shi ayu na anya kaka ya in ba ce shi ya shi ina zakwa luko in kin da ya kwayin tiga avi gwamnati babbatun shaibon da yakubu wa dai inge zara mai baba gana Adams wani bai dai lonu ge pita gwamnati la haye ko kwashi anya shishi ya nu ba shi lo ina zoko gbe na awiche mba tukpalo gwamnati bagbatu kwache kwa waza kwa leche ngaluko za na wawo woku banu kwa ishi ontu aguma nyasa awoche chwa gban bo gwamnati aza ayokan yayi ateteji la kun sheba yayin pe gban kakalanya ba kan aza awe alo nyasa bo aye azoko na ba vi ami nyasa kwen bo bagodo nga salasi yaye gbagbodo ya gizaza ya mu ayikin ya kwen na do kwen ya bwa inti na begibo amira muhammed wada inga gwamnati ateteji ba na agbadagun ajeyi ba tutunu ba jin ba kan aza awe ya ba da zagaciya ta fatete ga agbadagun aje ba labalo ba na aza koce ba da bada na katayin anabaja su dai inga na yenu bai shi yin fake musi inga kinsu na galuko wada na gban ya high court na sarai bai kan tubu akwai wo bada na alaita ba ba in ce shi in tuna ya kuma in gwamnati kinsu da ya in kwakba zagai ko ba la ayaku ya in alaita in pia kwade ayin fagna biya inge ali zubairu wani bai tunu bada ya ga wada ya dalami zamsai shi fagna bi wa godu wai da wada inga ba mashi ina ba adaba gwamnati a ko su fita shi in tuga ta ku aye ga gwamnati kula alaita ya ali wa godu wai na inga ala waye kuji kwa lo ayan peshi ta da in pe ko yin na ba jebe na letai akan ba da tubu a ce ayi ije gwamnati kin zin na ya kwa tniya ya ko shi kwa ba futa kwa ba alaita aya ku ya agodo a nga ga fita na laita bala ko layi abani yayi ba na gbaji bege abai ba ga jaguna zai shi ko ba mai shi na bai ya kufi lafiya sai sai ba jado
Jama'a barkanmu da warhaka ga fasaran takaitattun labarai mai karantawa Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu. Ma'aikatan kulawa da tallace-tallace na hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja ta fara tsire tallace-tallace na kan bango da ba a bisa ka'ida ba cikin birnin. Darakta na ma'aikatan Dr. Baba Gana Adam ne ya sanar da haka a hiransa da manema labarai, inda ya ce tuni ma'aikatansa ta yi nasarar cire tallace-tallace fiye da 2,000 wanda aka yi barkatai cikin birnin, da alwashin cewa za a yi wa masu wannan ɗabi'an za a hukunta su a gaban kuliya.
Hukumar wayar da kan jama'a na ƙasa wato NOA tare da haɗin gwiwan waɗansu ƙungiyoyi sun wayar da kan jama'a akan cutar coronavirus da inganta lafiya har ma da na tsaro, inda kwararru a wajen taron sun jaddada akan muhimmancin samuwa matasa da ayyukan yi domin rage zaman kashe wando da suke yi wanda bai haifar da ci gaba ba. Jama'a mazaunan garin Aleta da ke hanyar zuwa filin jirgin sama na Abuja sun shigar da kara a gaban kotu domin neman a daina shirin nan na rusa musu gari da gwamnati ke shirin yi. Wakiliyarmu Hakima Aliyu ta kawo rahoto cewa zaman kotu na yau wanda aka ɗaga zuwa ranar 30 na wannan watan Satumba ya sami jani jaka tsakanin lauyoyin, inda alkalin kotu Lallami Zamandanci ya ɗage zaman kotun zuwa ƙarshen wannan wata. To jama'a, abinda ya sauwaka kenan, mu kwana lahiya.
Igbo ndị nwe m abịakwa m ọzọ n'oge akụkọ ụwa. Akụkọ bụ m Chisom Soni Nwokafọ ka m wetara na akụkọ ndị a n'uju. Ọchịchị obodo a bụ FCT site na ngalaba ụlọ ọrụ ya na-ahụ maka iji akara ndị a na-egwunye n'okporo ụzọ na akụkụ ụlọ agbasa ozi ya kpọrọ n'okwu nkenke DOAS amalitere iwepụ ihe ndị eji agbasa ozi ndị egwunyere n'ụzọ iwu na-akwadoghị n'obodo a bụ FCT. Onye ọrụ anyị Shuaibu Nọsọ Yakubu bubatara anyị akụkọ na onye ntụziaka ukwu nke ụlọ ọrụ a Babagana Adam mere ka nke a pụta ìhè n'oge ọ na-ekwuru ndị nta akụkọ okwu, ebe ọ kọwara na ka ọ dị ugbu a na ha ewepụla ihe ndị egwunyere maka mgbasa ozi ruru 20,000 ma dụọ ndị nwe ụlọ ọrụ dị iche iche n'obodo ọdụ ka ha kwụsị igwunye ihe mgbasa ozi n'ụzọ iwu na-akwadoghị, ma kọwaa na ụlọ ọrụ ya adịla njikere ịkpụpụ ma kpee onye ọbụla dara iwu n'ebe nke a dị n'ụlọ ikpe. N'ihi nsogbu nke nje ọrịa korona na enweghị ezigbo nchekwa gbaa ala anyị bụ Naịjirịa gburugburu, emeela ka enwee nzukọ nke nkụzi ihe nke otu ụbọchị bụ nke ụlọ ọrụ ala anyị na-ahụ maka nkụzi ihe akpọrọ n'okwu nke NUA na ndị ọzọ aka ha dị n'ọrụ nkụzi ihe na ọrụ nchekwa haziri maka ndị bi n'ime ime obodo. Onye ọrụ anyị Amira Mohammed kwuru na nkụzi ihe a lekwasịrị anya na usoro inweta ozi ndị bụ eziokwu maka ụzọ a pụrụ isi belata ọrịa korona na inwe nchekwa bụ ịgba, ebe ụfọdụ ndị kwuru okwu gụnyere onye ntụziaka na ngalaba ụlọ ọrụ obodo a na-ahụ maka nhazi ikikere ndị ọrụ Afolabi Jimo kwuru na a pụrụ iji usoro egwuregwu ndị dị iche iche mee ka e nwee udo n'obodo, ma kpọkuo ndị ntorobịa ka ha tinye anya iji ụzọ egwuregwu ndị a eme ihe. Ndị obodo Aleta nke dị na okporo ụzọ ọdụ ụgbọelu akpọrọ n'okwu bekee Airport Road nke Lugbe akpụpụla ọchịchị obodo a bụ FCT n'ụlọ ikpe maka nkwado nke ịkwatu ihe ndị a rụrụ n'obodo ahụ. Onye ọrụ anyị Hakimat Aliyu sonyere n'ụbọchị taa n'oge a na-amalite itinye ọnụ n'okwu a n'ụlọ ikpe, ma kwuo na onye ọkaikpe butere okwu a n'ụlọ ikpe Ali Zubairu kọwara n'ihu onye ọkaikpe ukwu na-eleba anya n'okwu a Danlami Zamandashi na ọ dị mkpa ịkwụsị usoro nkwatu ihe ọrụ ndị a bụ nke ọ bụrụ na eme nke a ga-eme ka ndị nwe obodo Aleta hapụ inwe ebe obibi, ma emechara yigharị ikpe a n'ụbọchị 30 n'ime ọnwa iji kwe ka ọchịchị obodo a bụ FCT wetara ha akụkụ nke ha n'okwu a. Ọ bụ tụ akọ ha yi n'ọnụ. Ndewo.
Ẹkú kalẹ̀ o, ẹ̀sìnkú dédé wòye ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín
láti ẹnu Mobọ́lájí Mátì. Ìjọba ìlú Àbújá nípasẹ̀ àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìpolówó ọjà pẹ̀lú pátákó ìpolówó lójú pópó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í yọ àwọn pátákó ìpolówó tí kò gbàṣẹ. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ṣùáìbù Ọ̀nàṣe Yakubu ròyìn wípé olùdarí àjọ ọ̀hún Babagana Adam ló sọ èyí di mímọ̀ lásìkò tó ń gbóhùn sókè fún àwọn oníròyìn ní ìlú Àbújá. Ó ṣe àfikún wípé ó lé nígba àwọn pátákó ọ̀hún tí wọ́n ti yọ àti wípé wọn yóò máa tẹ̀síwájú pẹ̀lú ètò ọ̀hún títí ohun gbogbo yóò fi dọ́gba gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé ìpìlẹ̀ ìlú Àbújá. Ọ̀rọ̀ àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 àti ètò ààbò tí kò dúró déédéé lórílẹ̀‐èdè ti ṣokùnfà àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìlanilọ́yẹ̀. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Amira Mohammed ròyìn wípé àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè pẹ̀lú àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún kàn ní onígbọ̀wọ́ ètò ọ̀hún fún gbogbogbò láti pawọ́pọ̀ jagunmọ́rú lórí àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 bí wọ́n ti ń gbójú sókè fún ètò ìlera àti ètò ààbò lórígun mẹ́rin orílẹ̀‐èdè. Ọ̀pọ̀ ló sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀nà àbáyọ, lára wọn ni ọ̀gá Àfọlábí Jimoh. Àwọn tó ń gbé ní abúlé Àléètà l'Àbújá ti gbé ìjọba ìlú Àbújá dé ilé ẹjọ́ látàrí wípé ó pinnu àti wó apá kan ní abúlé ọ̀hún tí wọ́n fi àmì sí ní ọjọ́ 21 oṣù tó kọjá. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Akimot Ali ròyìn wípé ó ròyìn láti ilé ẹjọ́ náà wípé agbèfọ́ba Ali Suberu gbé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún kalẹ̀ síwájú adájọ́ Danlami Samandachi tó sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún sí 30 oṣù tí a wà yìí àti wípé wọn yóò fi tó ìjọba ìlú Àbújá létí kí ó lè ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tirẹ̀ níwájú ilé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún. tó kì í dùn púpọ̀ ṣéun ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí ìwòye ọ̀la òrùlé la ó sùn.